Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So it is a new year. We are here. We are doing the Bible. Jace, how are you today? I always start with Dedeker. Let's start with you today.
I'm doing pretty well. Every time you do that intro, I just hear that word, teach me about the Bible, and I just cringe a little bit because I don't think we're really teaching so much as exploring together, but maybe now we're sort of stuck with it. I don't know.
You're teaching me about all of the things that you went through as a young biblical person,
That's
a young
true.
biblical boy. And
Jace, as you've pointed out in other situations, it's like we're senpais more than
Exactly.
senseis.
There you
really, in this situation.
Right.
Yes.
We're kind of the upperclassmen helping you out in study hall.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's good.
Oh, gosh.
I appreciate it very much. And I think after 2020, after the first full week of this year, we need a drink and we need some Bible.
Now it's 2020 fun. People are out there having a lot of fun already this year.
Are they? I mean, that's one way to look
I
at
haven't
it.
met
I
any
don't
of
know
them
about
yet,
that.
but I love the idea
So
that someone's
much.
having fun.
Yeah.
And we're going to have more of it. We're going to bring in more fun for 2020 fun.
We're going to try to, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
This is
For sure.
Drunk Bible Study, 2021, 2020 fun, the home of fun, something like that. We'll
2020 done in certain respects.
Yeah, 2020 is done and we can kick it to the curb. Yeah, that's a working title. We'll figure it out. But
2020 fun. We might have some 2020 puns. It's gonna be a good time.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Now, I feel like I should let our audience in on
Please.
the fact that the three of us have just been in nonstop meetings and debates over how best to proceed with this show, specifically about what book to read. And as you can see from the title of this episode, we're doing the book of Isaiah. Dedeker, do you want to tell them about how we got to here?
It was 2020 fun, and we thought that Chronicles is not going to be fun enough.
There you go.
Is
Something
that
to
why?
that degree.
Did I answer it right? Am I
Well,
being a good senpai?
No.
Teacher,
yes,
I'm going
yes,
to
No,
try to
Emily.
senpai,
answer.
not teacher. Not teacher, senpai.
Okay. Yes, I believe that our conversation landed on the fact that Chronicles was more of a overview of what we had literally just read, and we don't want to do like back-to-back recaps here, or just an additional recap of like what we just read. And so we decided, let's do something different. Isaiah, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yes.
Okay,
No,
that
pick
was
me,
part
pick
of it,
me,
but
pick
that wasn't
me,
quite
'cause
right.
I realized,
Yes.
No, now I have the right
Dee,
answer.
do you have the right answer now?
Yes, I do. Because Isaiah comes next in the Hebrew Bible.
There you go.
Yeah.
Someone
Is that-
got it.
Was that the answer? I thought
That
I was
was the
going through
answer.
like our thought process, but okay,
Well,
whatever.
yeah,
fine.
I mean, that was good. Also, some behind the scenes
Thank you.
reasoning for why we had the discussion at all.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes, then Dedeker Googled, why did Drunk Bible Study do Isaiah next? And she
there you
found
go.
out
Perfect.
that, yes, so we are not following the total order of the Hebrew Bible because we've already done some books in the past out of that order. But at least from here, we're going to use that kind of as a guide for it. And as John Michael in the chat points out, he did suggest it before, so that did plant that
but
idea in our heads.
We couldn't just take him at his word. We had to learn for ourselves.
Right.
We
He could
hemmed
show
and
us
hawed.
the door. He could show us
Yeah.
the door. We had to walk through it.
It's true.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly.
So hopefully it'll be super fun, super awesome. I'm trying to recall what the heck we even talked about a couple weeks ago on
We had
this
a
show.
quiz. We had a
We had a
rough
quiz
we had a
on
quiz
kings.
on
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
kings. Yeah, it was a rough one because
All
there
the
were some numbers
kings.
involved, if I recall.
No, we
Didn't
crushed
we get
it.
a solid B? Oh no, we did well because Jace. It was because it was an easier quiz.
Yeah, I picked an
Because
easier
you
quiz
gave
and
us an
we
easy quiz.
just destroyed it. It was a good
Yeah.
American educational system quiz, and we aced it.
Good for us. Yeah. I don't even know. Are kids taking quizzes right now, like in this non-existent school system that's happening? I don't know.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
Sure, they're
Yeah.
taking tons of quizzes.
Virtual quizzes.
Yeah. They
Anyways,
put on their VR goggles. They take the quiz.
they like
Virtual
go
quizzes.
into a VR room and then they take this virtual quiz. I love it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that happened. We did a quiz. We talked about kings. We'll go over it again in Chronicles. They told us that we would like a million times, even though it's not that Chronicles. I know.
Well, I think
But
the most
still.
important thing to know to prepare yourself to head into Isaiah is that
Isaiah.
we cast Isaiah as Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
So you just need to hold that image in your mind.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. I know him, not personally, but I feel like I do. I've
Right.
heard him so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know very little about the book of Isaiah personally. Other than it's the book that Christians reference. They always pull out the verses that supposedly prophesy the coming of Christ or the coming of the Messiah, depending on who you talk to. That's
really?
all I really know about Isaiah. I don't know what else happens in this book.
Okay. Well, we're about to find out. It's going to be amazing.
I did look up a little bit about it in preparation for putting stuff together for this. And I don't want to give spoilers, but just the rough idea is, first of all, we're traveling back in time a little bit. So this is happening concurrently with stuff that we've already read in Kings. And
Okay.
I'm going to post this in our Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. You'll be able to find this link as well. We posted this a while back. This is a table of the chronology of all the kings we went through back in 1st and 2nd Kings. And specifically, the book of Isaiah is starting around the end of Uzziah's reign.
Okay.
And you can
I
see
believe that's also sometimes pronounced as Uzziah.
Okay. Also, Azariah, he was known as. So, really just.
How many names does this guy have? Jeez.
And he did right. Yes, he's listed in green on this list because he did good things, and
He's a
his
good boy.
son Jotham did good things too. Anyway, so Isaiah then is going to sort of be a prophet through the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, Manasseh, like a lot of these people that we saw
Wow.
before. So we might start putting together some things. The other thing I learned is that, oh my gosh, like many books in the Bible, though, of course, historians dispute that and are like, well, actually, this was probably written by several scholars hundreds of years later, or it was written during the reign of some king for some political purpose. I don't know. But I think for our movie adaptation / podcast purposes, we can assume this is all written by Lin-Manuel Miranda
Of course.
as Isaiah.
Specifically, Lin-Manuel
Yes.
Miranda. Yeah.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
went back in time and wrote it and then came back and wrote Hamilton. And he was like, you know what? I like Hamilton more, but here we are.
I mean, you
I
don't
guess
know
we'll
that
have to
yet.
be-
We haven't
That's
read
true.
it yet. So
That's true.
maybe we'll be like, this should be the next Broadway hit, Lynn.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll talk to him.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that it's kind of divided into two sections. The first half of the book is him basically talking so much smack about these kings and all the bad stuff
it's
they're
perfect.
doing.
It's perfect. It's the rap battle.
It's
Cool.
exactly. It's like the cabinet battle. And then the second half is kind of about the redemption of the people. So that's what I've got. That's sort of the rough structure of.
Okay.
So it's a musical in 2 acts by Lin-Manuel Miranda as Isaiah.
Beautiful. Okay. What are we drinking on this first episode back, this first episode of Isaiah?
I just went straight to just a plain whiskey. Plain old whiskey.
wow.
Not
What
quite a
kind?
double, more like a 1.5. It's a Woodford Reserve. It's quite
Huh.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Lovely.
And I tried to be a little bit fancy like Emily,
Ooh.
and I bought
Oh,
some
boy.
mixers recently, and I made
Wow.
this. Very pretty.
It's
Blue curacao?
very-
Yeah, so it's essentially a margarita with some extra things. So it's some añejo tequila with
Uh-huh.
blue curacao and lime juice, But then I also added
the floaties.
a little bit of sparkling strawberry, like a sparkling strawberry water to it. And then I also put some raspberries in it. So there's all sorts of things going on.
Are those the floaties?
That's the floaties. It's little raspberries on top. Yeah.
Okay. Well, mine also has raspberries in there. I made rose water. My partner bought like a giant thing of dried roses.
Oh.
And so I distilled it down and made some rose water, put that in here along with some raspberries. So it's raspberry, gin, lime, agave, all muddled and then strained out. And then I've got a little bit of floating. You can't really see it, but I'll take a picture of it and post it at some point. But yeah, there's a little bit of floating rose petals along with raspberry on the side.
That's
so
awesome.
What are you going to do with the rest of the rose water?
Use it in cocktails, or you can spray it on your face. It like can be a toner.
Oh yeah, we used to have that as a
nice.
toner at the salon where I worked in Seattle.
But could you do both at once? Could you mix up a cocktail and just straight to the dome?
Why not?
Splash it right on your face.
Splash it right on your face. Yeah, I mean it's just sitting in the refrigerator right now. It'll last for a week or so. So
yeah, it'd be like if someone came into the room and said something rude to you, you could splash the drink in their face, and they'd be like, "Wow, I feel so refreshed."
There you go. Yeah. No, it's nice. It's a subtle taste, but it's lovely. Rosewater it can be used for a variety of things. I highly recommend you make some.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Are we doing this?
Yeah, I'm ready
I think
for
it's
the
time
Bible.
to do this.
I'm so ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I've been ready.
A Bible. Boy.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new theme song and we got a new book. So let's get right into it. So today we are starting the book of Isaiah with chapters 1 through 3. If you want to read along with us, you can go to drunkbiblestudy.com/read and type in Isaiah, good luck spelling that, 1-3. As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, Isaiah chapter 1. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amoz, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, the kings of Judah. So I like how they set it up immediately that like we're gonna talk about these kings in the midst of talking about Isaiah.
This is a multi-king vision. Don't get it messed up.
Definitely. Yeah. Hear, heavens, and listen, earth. I like how earth is like little earth, teeny weeny earth. For Yahweh has spoken, I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. What else is new? The ox knows his owner, and the donkey his master's crib, but Israel doesn't know. My people don't consider.
At this time, people kept donkeys in cribs, clearly.
Apparently, yeah. His master's little crib. Ah, sinful nation, a people loaded with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children who deal corruptly. Is this Isaiah saying all this?
Of course, yeah. He's laying down some bars, obviously.
Okay.
This is also...
Definitely.
I think this is, if this is him writing the whole thing, he starts out by being like, yo, this is a vision that I had. I'm the son of Amoz, by the way, which I saw... And he's talking about himself in the third person, so which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And now he's...
I see.
So this could be from Yahweh through him. This could be him speaking. It's unclear. It's a vision.
Okay, it's a vision. Cool. They have forsaken Yahweh. They have despised the Holy One of Israel. I just want to point out that like the capitalization and the non-capitalized words in this are very like kind of all over the place.
It is a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It feels like this is a little bit different than how the previous book that we read was written. So right away, I'm like seeing that there are differences in the way that this specific book is written, which is cool. They have forsaken Yahweh. They have despised the Holy One of Israel. They are estranged and backward. Why should you be beaten more, that you revolt more and more? The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint.
Whole head is sick. Your whole head is sick.
And the whole heart is faint.
Wow.
They're fallen over. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it. Wounds, welts, and open sores.
Ew.
Wow.
Gross.
It sounds like he's potentially rapping here.
It's like a flashback to Job right now.
Yeah, I know. Should we, well, yeah, are we going to insert Job eventually, like, in its proper place? What are you going to do with that?
We'll have to figure that out when we get there. Because also, where the proper place is.
Yeah, that is the question.
Also then move the other books out of order. There's lots of questions.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. They haven't been closed, neither bandaged. Ew, neither soothed with oil.
Open sores all
Just
over.
Or with Fig Newtons.
Oh,
Right.
I forgot about that.
You haven't even
Just
put
the
Fig
idea-
Newtons on them.
The idea of like this big open sore that you're putting a Fig Newton on, I just like, none of that is okay. Like, let's not think about that. Okay, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire. Strangers devour your land in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. The daughter of Zion is left like a shelter in a vineyard, like a hut in a field of melons, like a besieged city. What? I don't know. I don't know what Lynn's saying here. He's just like,
I was into it. And sure enough, it only takes so long before we really go off the rails here. Like a hut in a field of melons. Okay, he's trying to paint a picture of it being very desolate, very sad, lonely, falling apart. Now, are melons relevant, do you think?
Interesting. John Michael said that in a different translation, it says cucumbers instead of melons.
Oh, that clears it up. Thank you.
How do cucumbers, are they on trees?
No, cucumbers are not in
they
trees. Cucumbers are not in trees.
Sorry. Wait, Jace, tell me, what did the message say?
The message called it I think it's a tumble down shack on a dead end street.
That's good. That's better.
Like,
I don't know. He's just like, you know what? I don't like this metaphor. We're gonna say dead end street.
Yeah, he's like, none of it makes sense. The hip kids today aren't gonna understand, so I'm gonna come up with something else.
How do cucumbers grow? They're in the ground.
Aren't they a vine?
I don't know.
Are they a bush? No one knows.
Okay, see, you don't know. You laughed at me for like saying that they grew on tree. Thank you, Mom. Mom told me that it was on the ground.
I just knew it wasn't a tree. Okay, a vine.
Okay,
yes, that was my second guess. My first guess was right.
Oh yeah,
Thank
wait.
you.
I know this. I've grown and picked cucumbers before. Yes, they grow on the
really?
ground. Can confirm.
Okay,
Okay,
McDonald cheese.
Can confirm. Okay. Okay. Unless Yahweh of hosts has left us a very small remnant, we would have been as Sodom. Oh. We would have been like Gomorrah. We know all about them.
Yep.
We do.
Pillars of salt and stuff. Hear the word of Yahweh, you rulers of Sodom. Listen to the law of our God, you people of Gomorrah. So clearly the Sodom and Gomorrah like myth or legend was like passed down.
Yeah, they knew about
Right?
it for sure.
They
Everyone
knew.
knows.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Also, in the message here, so in our version, they're saying people of Sodom or people of Gomorrah, right? In the message, he's like, what do I do with that? So he says, listen to my message, you Sodom-schooled leaders. Receive God's
Sodom?
revelation, you Gomorrah-schooled people. And he couldn't even come up with a different one.
Schooled?
Yeah.
Sodom schooled?
Sodom
Eugene.
hyphen schooled. Sodom
Eugene.
Eugene's
schooled.
taking some liberties and not trying very hard in this particular
Or
passage.
is he trying very hard to make it cool and just failing at that?
That could be the case.
But, like,
I don't know.
Failing so hard, though. Like, gosh.
Come on, Eugene.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. All right. We'll move on.
What are the multitude of your sacrifices to me, says Yahweh? I have had enough of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed animals. I don't delight in the blood of bulls or of lambs or of male goats.
Huh.
Really?
Whoa,
'Cause
he's like
you could've-
over that?
Yeah.
You could have fooled me, Yahweh. It seemed like you were all about that back in Leviticus, and now he's sick of it.
Well, we're all the way in Isaiah now. He's like, you know what? I'm a vegan now. No,
It's like,
he's
I'm
not.
longing for a good lentil burger.
He just
somebody.
watched Forks Over
Sounds
Knives,
great.
and so he's kind of
Yes.
changing his tune. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I don't delight in the blood. When you come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand to trample my courts? Bring no more vain offerings. Incense is an abomination to me. I mean,
Okay,
we
we know that.
Yeah.
We know.
Okay.
Calm down. We got
At
it.
least something's consistent.
New moons, Sabbaths, and convocations I can't bear with evil assemblies.
Okay.
Sabbaths?
But
And
like
all of it.
like Black Sabbaths, though? Is that what he's talking about? 'Cause
Like
he said
Ozzy,
with
Ozzy Osbourne?
yeah. Because he said with evil something, right?
I can't bear with evil assemblies.
Yeah.
I guess it seems like maybe he's trying to make a point of like, it doesn't matter if you jump through all the hoops and do all the rituals and stuff. If you're not following my laws and if you're evil on the inside, then I don't care. I don't want your dead male goat.
Okay. Yeah, that
Okay.
seems to be the gist. It's
Yeah.
weird that Sabbaths were in there, but it must be. Yeah, it's got to be.
That is weird.
It's
I
gotta
don't understand
be
that.
Sabbaths of witches or something.
I feel like we should look that up. Like, why did he include Sabbaths and all of a sudden hate on it? And to hate on all the bloodletting, the killing of animals. I'm fine with him hating that now, but why? My soul hates your new moons and your appointed feasts. They are a burden to me. I am wary of bearing them. When you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yes, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash yourselves, make yourself clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek justice. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow.
Oh, back to the fatherless and the widows.
yeah.
Whatever.
Remember?
Love
Whatever.
that. Yeah.
I'm just going to say whatever.
No, I love that. No, that he's
Wait,
like.
is it good?
Yeah, he's saying like.
Judge the fatherless?
Well,
Sounds bad.
so I have a
As someone who is fatherless.
I have a
Sounds
different version of the World English Bible up.
Wait, hold on.
I know.
A different version of the World English
Yes,
Bible?
I know.
Yeah, what does that even mean, Jess?
It's-
Don't.
We've talked about this before. It's been a work in progress, and the version that we have on our site is, I've learned, not the very most recent. For the most part,
Oh,
they're the same, but
no.
every now and then there's like a little word that's different, and I still
Oh,
need
no.
to update that.
Okay.
But that in this version of the World English Bible, it says defend the fatherless, not judge the fatherless.
That's very
Okay,
different.
I prefer that.
And John Michael
Definitely.
says the ESV says bring justice to the fatherless, so maybe it's like judge
Well,
them
that could
fairly.
Be
Might be.
okay.
And then plead
Okay.
for the widow. It's like to defend the widow. This is, like Dedeker said, this is stuff we talked about back in...
Like Leviticus and Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
I loved taking care of the
Fun
fatherless
that we
and
gotta
taking
take
care of
care
widows.
of. Gotta take care of them. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Come now and let us reason together, says Yahweh.
Wow.
Though your sins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yahweh's
that's
like open
different
to
for him.
conversation now. This is great. Okay. I like this.
Yeah,
is a new year, new
The
Yahweh.
new Yahweh.
Yeah.
New year, new Yahweh. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow.
Beautiful.
Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool, like sheepies. If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword. For the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. Okay.
Cool.
Back to the whole
This
carrot
is-
and stick thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But like
How
cooler. I don't know. I'm into this. I'm into this, Isaiah.
Cooler? I mean, we'll see. It's only
This
like
new-
book
yeah.
one, but
Yeah, this new
chapter
Yahweh
one.
who's maybe trying to be a vegan with the new year. and-
Yeah, it's veganuary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Also,
Yeah.
I just noticed in the message, those last few verses you read has a little heading that says, "Let's argue this out," which is amazing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Weird.
Let's argue this
A
out.
heading?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How the faithful city has become a prostitute.
Ah,
She was goodness. She was full of justice, righteousness lodged in her, but now murderers.
Lodged in her.
Yeah.
If you're
Is that
gonna
a
call someone a
euphemism?
prostitute and then talk about things being lodged in you.
Yeah.
And that was like
awkward.
the good thing was, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like she's a prostitute if she's not sleeping with me, kind of a thing. I think that's,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that, the whole kind of that whore over there
yeah.
sort of thinking.
Okay, I mean, I appreciate that The Rock is taking some steps to kind of, be a better person. He's becoming vegan, maybe he's working out again, but he still has some work to go.
He needs to go to therapy, is what I think,
Okay, yeah.
but I'm one to talk. Okay. She was full. Your silver has become dross.
Dross.
I don't know what that word is.
Well, isn't that like an off-putting of like metallurgy?
Oh, I don't know.
Huh?
It's something regarded as worthless or rubbish. Foreign matter, dregs, or mineral waste, in particular scum formed on the surface of molten metal. There you go.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you. All those metallurgy classes paid off finally.
I'm very impressed, Edgar, but I shouldn't be because it's you. Your wine mixed with water, which is just like watered down wine. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Your princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loves bribes and follows after rewards. They don't judge the fatherless, neither does the cause of the widow come to them. Therefore the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, says, I will get relief from my adversaries and avenge myself of my enemies. And I will turn my hand on you, thoroughly purge away your dross, and I will take away all your tin. So, more metal.
Gonna collect the recycling.
Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of metal metaphors here. I like it.
Oh, he's gonna
Indeed.
recycle this year too.
Oh,
He's like, we really
that's-
need to be better to the planet.
That's good.
That's true.
I
I'm
like
glad.
it.
You know what? I appreciate that,
Oh,
Yahweh.
maybe he's turning over a new leaf. He's gonna F it up though.
well,
No,
we'll see if
I'm
you don't.
optimistic. Come on, The Rock.
Wait, but we kind of know what he's going to do.
I mean, I suppose we knew it from the perspective of whoever wrote Kings, and now there's a different perspective, so that's also
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Who did write Kings?
The Deuteronomists
Nobody
is kind of
knows.
the best
No one-
theory we
no
came
one
up
can
with.
know that.
Yeah.
Nobody actually knows. I will restore your judges as the first and your counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, you shall be called the city of righteousness, a faithful town. The city of righteousness, comma, a faithful town. I love that.
It's like the
like a
opposite
book.
of Las Vegas. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's really not gonna stimulate your tourism industry.
No, nobody's going to come to the city. Zion shall be redeemed with justice, and her converts with righteousness. But the destruction of transgressors and sinners shall be together, and those who forsake Yahweh shall be consumed.
Yeah. Classic.
I still love eating people. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which you have desired, and you shall be confounded for the gardens that you have chosen. Is that a callback to the Garden of Eden? Eden?
They didn't choose that garden, so or maybe they chose
No.
not to be in that garden. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I don't know. Oh, that's a good point. For you shall be as an oak whose leaf fades, and a garden that has no water. The strong will be like tinder, and his work like a spark. They will both burn together, and no one will quench them. This is
Boy.
really awkward. And that's
Well,
also the end of the chapter.
It's the
You know what?
constant back and forth, the constant carrot stick, carrot
Seriously.
stick, carrot stick.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Wow.
Wow, that was exciting though.
It was exciting. Wait, and Lin-Manuel, did he just, say all this?
He definitely
through-
wrapped it
Yahweh
all.
said it through him?
You wrapped it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Yahweh said it through him because he is a prophet. So I'm
Okay.
sure he's
Yeah. That's,
getting some divine inspiration,
Yeah.
as it were. But if Lin-Manuel Miranda were actually here, he could definitely adapt this into something much cooler.
I think he should.
oh yeah, for
I
sure.
think he's gotta work on that. That's gotta be his next project.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think that once he hears about this show and us casting him, he won't be able to not do it.
He
Right?
couldn't
Like,
resist.
Yeah.
He's basically losing money if he doesn't.
Pretty much.
I don't know about that, but okay. Alrighty. Well, that was
Okay.
the first chapter.
That was the first chapter, and we're going to go on to the second and third chapters, but this is our moment to talk a little bit about how you can support this show, how you can have a new year, new Yahweh for yourself.
New year, new
Your
Yahweh.
very own.
Your very own.
Your very own Yahweh.
Yeah, okay, we're back. Let's launch right into Isaiah chapter 2.
Woo.
This is what Isaiah, the son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
I like
so
that
is he
he's-
yet again
Yeah.
talking in the third person?
I love it.
This is what he saw.
I think he's like just kind of starting each one. Like,
Said the vision, and then
You know,
this is what he saw.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
He's continuing on.
It shall happen in the latter days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established on the top of the mountains, and shall be raised above the hills, and all nations shall flow to it.
So I just realized that he said the mountain of God's house will be on the top of the mountains.
Yeah, it's mountain on
A
mountain.
mountain on
action.
mountain. Okay, good, good,
So
Yeah.
good.
two
You got it.
mountains. So mountain squared. Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Many people shall go and say, "Come, let's go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways." And
I'm glad Jacob's back.
First Jacob of
All warmed up.
2021.
All warmed
Yeah.
up. So let's do this. Yeah.
And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion the law shall go forth, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations, and will decide concerning many peoples. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their
Oh.
spears into pruning hooks. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
this is a
famous
classic
line.
line. Love this
Yeah.
Wait,
one.
what? I missed it. I was. What happened?
You're typing in the chat. Pay attention.
Sorry. What happened? What happened? Will you
They
say
shall-
it again?
They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
Have you ever
Never heard it
swords into
before.
plowshares?
Never heard it? Really?
Really?
Nah.
Do you-
Swords into plowshares. What?
Do you get what he's referring to? What he means by that?
No. What?
What would be
Tell
your
me.
best guess?
Beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Yes.
They're beating their. What's a plowshare? Like a
plow.
plow?
Yeah, a plow. A plow.
And their spears. So like they're hurting people less fortunate. What are they doing? I don't know. I don't even know what we're talking about. Will you just tell me?
I could see how you could get that interpretation, though, if you're physically imagining somebody physically ramming their sword
Yeah.
into like a farmer, a poor farmer.
There, exactly. That's where
No,
my
so
head
by
went.
beating their swords, as in like they're forging, like a blacksmith.
okay.
Like the metal from their sword, they're gonna beat into a plow, and the metal from their spear, they're gonna beat into a pruning hook.
So they're gonna
So-
make their swords and their spears into these other
Yeah,
items.
they're not gonna need to be warring anymore. They're gonna
Okay.
be able to just be happy little farmers.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't
This
know.
one gets
well,
whipped out a
come
lot.
on. This is the Bible we're talking about. I'm like, yeah, clearly, like somebody's killing somebody
Like it
else.
has to be violent.
Okay. got it.
Definitely. So,
But this is New
yeah.
Year, New Yahweh, and so yeah, this is
So he's being all, I don't know, farmer-esque.
Yeah.
right. If
Yeah.
we do good, then we'll be peaceful.
He's like, I'm
people.
going to be vegan. I'm going to start my own garden.
An
It's gonna be
organic
great.
farm.
It's going to be an organic
Yeah.
farm. It's
Yeah,
going to be
okay.
awesome. Totes.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. House of Jacob, come and let us walk in the light of Yahweh. For you have forsaken your people, the house of Jacob, because they are filled from the east with those who practice divination, like the Philistines, and they clasp hands with the children of foreigners.
Oof, yeah.
Their
How dare they.
land.
I'm sorry. Was
Their
that
land-
Pans? What was the what?
Class
Cla-
hands.
clasp.
They do
hands.
this.
It's okay. They're gonna hold hands with
Did you
foreigners.
actually?
Okay.
Did you actually hear clash pants?
I did. Pans.
That would be
Like they're
really
banging
funny.
pans together.
They're like, woo, yeah.
I was thinking that clash pans was like some sort of euphemism for sex.
Oh,
You know, like, hey, you want to
okay,
go clash
okay,
pans in
Jizz.
the kitchen? I
Okay.
don't know.
sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
Their land is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land is also full of idols.
It's a continuous chariot. There's no end to it.
Their land also is full of idols.
Eek.
Yeah. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. Man is brought low and mankind is humbled. Therefore, don't forgive them.
Don't do it.
No.
Enter into the rock.
Meaning God?
Oh.
Meaning the rock?
Okay.
It's not capitalized.
Yeah.
We know what it means, though.
Well, let me finish the sentence.
Okay.
Enter into the rock and hide in the dust from before the terror of Yahweh and from the glory of his majesty.
Yeah.
The lofty looks of man will be brought low, the haughtiness of men will be bowed down, and Yahweh alone will be exalted in that day.
I'm sorry, I just finally put this together. This whole thing about them having so many horses and chariots that have no end, these are bad things.
Oh.
I guess so.
This
They're
is a
like
list
greedy
of things that are bad about them, like all their gods and their temples and things. And it's making me think about when, what was it? When one of the kings had Solomon, with the tons of horses. And we were like, Yahweh specifically said don't do that. And then
because he makes exceptions for random people.
But Emily, here
Not
it is.
random. What?
According to Isaiah, Yahweh's like, this is too many horses. I'm gonna destroy you. So
you have way too many.
Too many horses.
Oh my gosh.
You have more horses than exist in the world. I can't have this.
40,000, Jace. You were like, there's not that many horses in the world. There can't be. It can't happen.
You've hit the horse paradox. We can't allow it. For there will be a day of Yahweh of hosts for all that is proud and haughty, and for all that is lifted up, and it shall be brought low. For all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, for all the oaks of Bashan, for all the high mountains, for all the hills that are lifted up, for every lofty tower, for every fortified wall, for all the ships of Tarshish, and for all pleasant imagery. Jeez.
No pleasant imagery. Everything looks like crap.
At first I thought it was like,
to.
okay, he hates anything that's a high place. Absolutely anything, but also just anything pleasant. No pleasant imagery. Cannot allow it.
Cannot stand pleasant imagery.
Okay, we're having a little repeat here. The loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be brought low, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. It's kind of like our chorus, I think, our repeating refrain.
Oh,
so
yeah,
drink if you want to.
Okay.
Right. Well, it's because it's a rap battle. It's part of Hamilton, or whatever. Isaiah the musical. Isaiah : an American musical. That's going to be the title.
Okay.
But okay, I love this so much. I was looking at the message here and this thing where he's listing all of their bad things, like these pretty pictures and stuff like that. I was like, okay, what does he choose here? And it says, against all giant sequoias, hugely towering, and against the expansive chestnut. So he hates those trees, I guess.
The huge chestnut, just gigantic.
It gets better. Against Kilimanjaro and Annapurna, against the ranges of the
movie
Alps,
company,
the movie company,
gosh.
Against the ranges of Alps and Andes, against every soaring skyscraper, against proud.
What?
Yep,
This
we've
is like-
time traveled.
Yeah.
Against all proud obelisks and statues, against ocean-going luxury liners.
Okay. No, Eugene, no. No.
Against elegant three-masted schooners.
What? Hold on, Eugene.
These
there was
are
only
very
one phrase.
upper class New Englanders on their three-masted schooners.
There was only one phrase that mentioned ships, and you're extrapolating into cruise ships and schooners
Three-masted
and everything.
schooners. Yeah.
We're gonna get a junk in there too.
No, that's basically the end. Then the last part is the swelled big heads will be punctured bladders.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gross.
Can we cast Eugene Levy as the author of the message? Sure, that would
That's
be
good.
funny.
That's
that would be
good,
super
Sean.
funny.
Okay, I'm trying to imagine how this works in our TV show / movie, where it's like kind of like in Monty Python and the Holy Grail when they cut to the narrator,
Yes.
the historian or whatever. It's Eugene Levy being the author of the message.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Eugene Levy the whole time just being like, and here, when they say the ships of Tarshish, that's, that course,
That's
I don't know, like a luxury liner.
Schooner. It's a schooner with 3, what is it? Masts.
Masts.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, please
All right,
continue with
Eugene.
the real
Dedeker,
Bible.
bring us home.
The real
I shall.
world English Bible.
The idols shall utterly pass away. Men shall go into the caves of the rocks and into the holes of the earth. From before the terror of Yahweh and from the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake the earth mightily. In that day, men shall cast away their idols of silver and their idols of gold, which have been made for themselves to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the caverns of the rocks.
And the
Freaking
orangutans and the breakfast cereals.
And into the clefts of the ragged rocks, from before the terror of Yahweh, and from the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake the earth mightily. Okay, drink for repetition.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to do the last verse of this chapter.
Do it.
Stop trusting in man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for of what account is he? Now, normally in our culture, we
What?
condemn someone who's a mouth breather. And this is the first time where I've heard of like a nostril breather as a
Nostril
sign
breather
of don't
is a bad
trust
thing.
don't trust that person. What does the message say? What does Eugene say?
What does Eugene Levy have to say about this? That's a good question. It just says, quit scraping and fawning over mere humans, so full of themselves, so full of hot air.
That's
Can't
not
you see
incorrect,
there's
but
nothing to them? I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. Eugene Levy,
not wrong.
not wrong on that one.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, are we ready for this final chapter?
So
yeah,
ready.
let's bring it home.
Chapter 3. For behold, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, takes away from Jerusalem and from Judah supply and support, the whole supply of bread and the whole supply of water. They will be dead in 5 days. The mighty man, the man of war, the judge, the prophet, the diviner, the elder, the captain of 50.
Who are we talking about?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting to see if it makes sense.
Okay.
The captain of 50, the honorable man, the counselor, the skilled craftsman,
This guy
and
has
the
a lot of
clever
titles.
enchanter. He's going to take it away from... No, I think this is all these different types of people are going to have their food taken away.
Oh.
Maybe? Takes away from Jerusalem and from Judah supply and support, the whole supply of bread and the whole supply of water, semicolon, the mighty man, the man of war, all those things that I said. So I guess that's like a list of the people who exist in Jerusalem and Judah. Captains
Cool.
of 50, the counselor, the skilled craftsman, I don't know.
Etc.
I will give boys to be their princes, and children shall rule over them.
I
What?
mean, that already happened a couple times where we had some boy kings.
Is that like the justification
Oh.
for the boy
Oh.
kings?
Yeah, wait, this is before that happened. Remember,
it?
this is during Uzziah or Azariah, however you want to say his name, and I think our boy kings might have been after that.
Huh.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
maybe this is him prophesying that happening. Because the boy kings were also bad. Remember, they had all the magicians and all the Beyonce posters
Right.
and
Yes.
yeah. Okay. The people will be oppressed, everyone by another and everyone by his neighbor. The child will behave himself proudly against the old man.
Oof.
And-
Sassy kids.
Yeah, Sassenbach.
Yeah.
And the base against the honorable. Indeed, a man shall take hold of his brother in the house of his father, saying, quote, you have clothing, you be our ruler, and let this ruin be under your hand.
Is that
I like
the,
your
is that the
clothes.
s-
Cool.
Is that the standard now?
Apparently.
You're the only one who's not naked. You must be king.
You must be king. Is this does this have to do with some story we've maybe read about a brother having to become the king and it going badly?
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Moving on. In that day, he will cry out, saying, I will not be a healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. You shall not make me ruler of the people.
I know I
What?
actually am naked. You're confusing me. I know
Naked
I have
and
this
without food at all.
I know I have this strappy little loincloth on, but a strappy little loincloth does not a king make, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
I think that perhaps drunk Bible study is not the right substance for this book. That maybe this should be like, like mushrooms Bible study or something like that. Because this stuff is like getting way out there for me.
Illegal substance.
That's we're pushing it there. We can't implicate ourselves.
Well, we're going to move our podcast to Oregon, and we're going to get a doctor's prescription for the show. It's going to be legal. Don't even worry about it.
You're right there. You're really close.
Oregon's kind of in between California and Washington, so we can just meet there.
I just do not think that being on psychedelics makes for good podcasting.
No,
honestly.
oh no. Yeah, maybe we would have a deeper understanding, but the podcast would be horrible. It would be so bad. Like, so
Yeah,
bad.
for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Here we go. So he's like, no, I don't have bread or clothing. You can't make me ruler of the people.
This little baby. This little
For
boy.
Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The look of their faces testify against them. They parade their sin like Sodom. Parade their sin like Sodom. That's a good line for a pop song or something. They don't hide it. Woe to their soul, for they have brought disaster upon themselves. Tell the righteous, good.
Good.
Tell the righteous, quote, good, exclamation point, end quote.
Okay, good.
For they...
like as in good boy?
Good boy, I guess. For they shall eat the fruit of their deeds. Woe to the wicked, disaster is upon them, for the deeds of his hands will be paid back to him. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Good.
Oh, boy.
Good.
No.
Yes.
Surely not. What shame.
My people, those who lead you, cause you to err, and destroy the way of your paths. Yahweh stands up to contend and stands to judge the peoples. The peoples.
So many peoples.
Yahweh will enter into judgment with the elders of his people and their leaders. Quote, it is you who have eaten up the vineyard.
But it was so good.
The spoil of the poor is in your houses. What do you mean that you crush my people and grind the face of the poor?
Jeez.
Gosh.
End quote. Says the Lord, Yahweh of hosts.
Yahweh is like a Stephen King novel. You know what I mean? Like it's things that you didn't know could exist in a person's head of like just crazy.
It's real creative.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, really creative, very
Scary.
wacky, scary, dark stuff.
Okay, yeah.
That's Yahweh. Yahweh's Stephen King.
Okay. Interesting.
And also The Rock.
Interesting fan theory.
Yeah.
Moreover, Yahweh said, he's not done, quote, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with outstretched necks and flirting eyes, walking to trip as they go, jingling ornaments on their feet.
Oh, okay. I'm just okay.
Dedeker,
I know that
you
right
could do
now,
this so well.
We
You could
are-
do it so well.
like we're still under lockdown in our country, still under terrible pandemic conditions, so no one can really go out to the bars and flirt. But as soon as we can, I'm trying this on as my new strategy. So what is
Yeah.
it like? Sticking your neck out,
Outstretched neck and
Yes.
Put your
flirting eyes.
fingers. Yes.
flirting
and
eyes. Okay.
Put your finger symbols on your ankles and like jingle them in a man's direction or whomever's.
Walking
In a person's direction.
walking to trip
See,
as they
she's
go.
already got it. She's
The
Walking
line
to
is
trip.
walking to trip as they go, jingling ornaments on their feet.
Okay, it's
So maybe
great.
they're doing sort of a Ministry of Silly Walks kind of thing.
But then you trip on someone and you're like, oh my goodness.
Oh,
wow.
that's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Oh,
Goodness.
gracious.
I will have
Uh-huh.
to report on the podcast how that goes. It will get attention for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, you and your jingling ways.
Yeah. Therefore, the Lord brings sores on the crown of the head of the women of Zion, and
Ew.
Yahweh will make their
Yikes.
scalps bald.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Boy.
never mind. Don't do that.
In that day,
Abort.
in that day, the Lord will take away the beauty of their anklets, the headbands, the crescent necklaces, the earrings, the bracelets, the veils, the headdresses, the ankle chains, the
Okay, well,
sashes.
this is
You,
Jace,
but you've
Jace,
worn
hold
all
on,
these
hold on.
things. This is like a belly dancing
This
seminar.
is very belly dance, but this is kind of over accessorizing. Like the rule I was always told, if you're someone who loves accessories, is like get ready for the day, put on all your accessories, but then before you leave the house, take off one of them.
Okay, maybe that's what Yahweh's
I
kind
was
of
told.
saying here.
Okay.
Yahweh's like, this
Okay.
is too many accessories, so you're gonna go bald. I'm not even like halfway through this list.
Oh no.
Where did I leave off? Ankle chains.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The headdresses, the ankle chains, the sashes, the perfume bottles, the charms, the signet rings, the nose rings, the fine robes, the capes, the cloaks. You can't do a cape and a cloak at the same time. Come on.
Cloak. Like
The-
what?
The
What is-
purses. Do not get me started on the bags these women have. The purses, the hand mirrors, the fine linen garments, the tiaras, and the shawls.
Oh, I do love a good shawl.
You do. I
Wait
know.
a minute. You're wearing a cape, a cloak, a shawl,
A
hand
purse,
mirror.
hand
Yeah.
signet rings, a nose ring. Yeah, there's a lot going
You
on
were just
here.
done up, dolled
Yeah.
up.
Gracious. Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to take at least one thing off if you're
I
leaving
can
the
hear you
house
coming
with
a
all
mile
that.
away.
Yeah.
And the end of this episode is the punishments for those things.
Okay,
It
okay.
shall happen that instead of sweet spices, there shall be rottenness. Instead of a belt, a rope. Ew. Instead of well-set hair, baldness. Instead of a
Just
robe,
no hair.
no hair. Instead of a robe, a girding of sackcloth. And
Classic.
branding instead of beauty.
Wow.
This is a critique on like having brand names all over your clothing and your bags and stuff, I think.
It's like Gucci.
Yeah, exactly.
and then-
Or the Coco Chanel C's all over everything.
yeah,
you know?
Balenciaga
Yeah.
all over. And it's like, nah.
Yahweh hates
People in the
that.
chat are calling for DBS merch, so I'm
What if
assuming
we had
they
like
want us to
DBS,
produce
DBS?
all of these items just with the logo printed on them.
I love that. That's really good. Your men shall fall by the sword, and you are mighty in the war. Her gates shall lament and mourn, and she shall be desolate and sit on the ground.
Get on the
Wow.
ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, that's it?
That's the end. That's the end of today.
Wow. Oh, if you'd asked me, how much money would you bet that the Bible includes a very long, detailed list of women's accessories? I would say BS. I'm not giving you any money.
You know what? I'm
and I
up
would have
for
lost
anything.
out on the bet.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
up for anything at this point. The Bible's going to include everything that you can think of.
I've
It
recently,
included any kind of raven.
in lockdown, I kind of started flirting with this like hashtag history bounding thing that some people do, which is like incorporating more like historical fashion pieces into their everyday wear.
Oh yeah, you're
And-
wearing corsets all the time.
Yeah, I got into corsets and stuff, it's a thing. But now I'm kind of into this like all accessories all the time of, like a Middle Eastern woman in 500 BC or whenever it is that we are. That
Yeah, I think we're around that 500 to 600-ish BC, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
like if that's the DBS cosplay.
I think of your belly dancing outfit, like your garb for belly dancing, and it's very much what
Very
they
much
just
like
described.
But you
Yeah,
did
it's
not
just
have
kind of
nearly
like
enough
that.
accessories.
You didn't have a
No,
shawl
no.
and a cape and a cloak. You didn't have
didn't
all
have-
of those.
you didn't
at the
have a
same
nose
time.
ring.
If I could belly dance with a cape and a cloak and a tiara at
Well,
the same
you have to
time,
take
that's
all
a
of them
lot.
off, I think. Like,
Oh, so you kind of like strip. It's like the dance of the seven
it's a,
veils.
yes, exactly. It's a
Ah.
disrobing.
It's
When
the-
I was
the
gigging, I
dance
would
of the
sometimes
seven
come out
cloaks.
wrapped in my veil and kind of,
Oh, yeah.
slowly
I think,
slink on
okay.
out of it.
So a couple weeks ago for Christmas time, for like holiday time, we did a song. I think Dedeker, you should do a dance.
God.
Jace, you should film it, and we should have
Okay.
a
So,
Dedeker
hold
a
on.
Dedeker dance.
No,
Of the
the
seven
way that
veils.
this would go down, if it's the way that Daniel, arranged our song, our performance
oh,
of
no, that
When
means
You
that we all
Believe,
have to
then
dance.
it means that I would arrange a group choreography
Ah,
that
I
everyone
see.
would have to
All right,
do.
fine.
And I don't
Challenge
care
accepted.
how
Challenge
insecure you feel
accepted.
about your dancing, then you have to do it. That's exactly how it would
I'm
be.
fine with that. I mean, I'd feel the most insecure out of the three of us, but
I
sure.
just don't know what a DBS belly dance inspired dance would be necessarily.
Listen,
Like,
the world is your oyster.
It is your oyster. That's true.
what would be the song even?
I don't
Or would
know.
it be I
Maybe
Dance Like
David,
David
and,
Dance?
David, Daniel, and Jace have to curate the song.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well we'll think
Okay.
about this.
Well, we'll think on
about
this. Maybe this will be
We'll-
like a very, very deep cut bonus for patrons in the future or something like
Okay.
that. We'll see.
Sounds good. There is a
Oh.
video out there of you dancing. There are probably videos.
There's some videos. There are many videos.
Yeah.
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 Of me out there dancing.
On the tubes.
on the
Use-
tubes, yeah.
On the use, yeah.
Usually uncredited is the thing because it's, people show up to a restaurant. They don't know the name of the belly dancer. They're
Right.
just
Yeah.
like, a belly
Ooh,
dancer
belly
at the
dancer.
restaurant.
Exactly. It's cool.
Anyway, Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, as played by Lin-Manuel Miranda. That was fun. That was some
buck
poetry.
wild.
That was so much more fun than Kings. I love that.
We'll
It's-
see how it
it's-
continues, but yeah, maybe it'll be more fun than Kings.
Yeah, I
be
definitely
fine with
think it's
that.
going to be sassier than Kings. So we've already
Oh, for
established
sure.
a real sassy tone. So
For sure.
I think we can expect more of that.
For sure.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week where we're going to be talking about the next chapters. And also, we're going to do a bonus episode to hopefully explore some more of these things. Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more drunk Bible study, including ad-free episodes, personal toasts on the show, early releases, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Join us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Dedeker Winston, Emily Matlack, and me, Jace Lindgren. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.